am confident that this deal will meet the national security interests of the United States and our allies. So I will veto any legislation that prevents the successful implementation of this deal. We do not have to accept an inevitable spiral into conflict, and we certainly shouldn't seek it.
Yeah, we're seeking it. We're seeking it, not Iran. Joining us now is Michael Barone, senior political analyst for the Washington Examiner, author of the great book, folks, Shaping Our Nation, How Surges of Migration Transformed America and Its Politics. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good to talk to you. All right, so I want to get so much to get to, but let's focus on this portion of what Obama had to say in announcing the deal. Of course, that he's going to veto any attempt to stop this agreement. And I don't know that the Congress in the Senate would have the votes to override a veto.
Well, it's the Congress, the Senate and the House basically kind of ceded away any power they might have claimed to have the power to have this agreement considered a treaty and to be ratified under the Constitution. Therefore, with only a 2/3 vote in the Senate, it's plain it never could have gotten a 2/3 vote. Over the years, Congresses have generally been unwilling to undermine and reject agreements that are reached by the president. And I think this one is too, even though there's clearly a majority opinion, almost every Republican and some Democrats, against this treaty. Under the legislation that Senator Corker, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, got through earlier this year, to veto the treaty, Congress has to get a 2/3 vote at both houses. That means that they need to get Republicans not only need to be pretty much united, but they need to get a significant number of Democratic votes. I think maybe if it was a secret ballot, they could. I think it's going to be difficult for them to get Democrats to reject the president's position on this deal, even though a majority are deeply troubled by it, and even though the voters are deeply troubled by it. On the one hand, when you look at public opinion polling, people sort of say, well, I kind of hope there's a deal. I hope that we can avoid armed conflict. At the same time, they have just about zero trust, the great majority, in whether Iran this regime that has been hostile to us now for 36 years, is going to live up to an agreement.
And with good reason to be doubtful. Let's move on to Donald Trump right here. You've written some great pieces on this run of Donald Trump. What's that?
He's one of a kind.
He is one of a kind. Do you believe, though, a new poll out just moments ago from USA Today, Suffolk University, Trump on top with 17% to Bush's 14%. Do you believe that, A, he has a legitimate chance of winning the nomination in the Republican side, and if not, B, will he run as a third-party candidate?
Well, he has probably no legitimate chance, serious chance to win the Republican nomination, at least so long as majorities of Republican primary voters say that he's unacceptable. That's generally been the result. Perhaps that will change, but I think not. I think he's not going to be the nominee. In a 17-14 lead, well, Steve, what's the margin of error on that?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it's 3%. We've seen a variety of candidates zoom upwards in the polls up to, say, the 17% level when they get some attention, but they don't necessarily stay there. I think Republican primary voters are looking around. Can I predict what Donald Trump is going to do in the general election? No, I cannot predict that. A guy that was 4 times contributed to Hillary Clinton's Senate campaign and now says it's hugely important to defeat her and that she's the worst person has shown that he's, let's say, capable of changing his mind. In an interview with my Washington Examiner colleague Byron York last week, and asked whether or not he would rule out a third-party run, Trump said, yeah, well, I don't plan to do it now. And translation into English, I don't rule it out. So I think it's entirely possible, and my Examiner column tried to contemplate.
Yes, and if we got about 30 seconds. If he does run as a third party, and it's Hillary and someone, and he obviously takes away from the Republican chances.
He takes away from Republican voters who are upset about trade and immigration. I think he could also take away from some of those white non-college voters who, a sufficient number of whom voted for Obama and enable him to carry states like Ohio, Michigan, Iowa.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
So it could hurt both parties.
Interesting. Michael Barone, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Excellent.
Give Me 5 is next, folks. But first, Newsmax wants to send one lucky couple on a 7-day Silver Sea cruise. You have to enter to win. Visit Newsmax.com/sweepstakes. That's Newsmax.com/sweepstakes. Good luck.